Minstrels. Oh, yay. Thurlax Blade. 2007, I guess it was. Okay. Anthems. When they first came along, it was a case of, oh, it's an anthem every 20 seconds that's going to divert my attention from everything else. And literally, I would be stuck on this. It'd be a never-ending conveyor belt with objects going by like candid camera in the past, where some poor sod was trying to sort out these boxes, and then suddenly a whole load would come down the conveyor belt. Well, it turns out it's not like that. Can be, but it doesn't need to be. Because it helps if you're in combat for a long time. And us solo landscapers are finding, of course, that that isn't the case. Right, first of all, I'm buffing this one first and then refreshing them both for the same time frame. This is my personal anthem, my crying calls, and this is what everyone in the group gets. Well, me. I'm not bothered so much. I'm going to wait for these to come back to me. So I'm going to buff this one for that little heal. I think I got a heal, I don't know. I'm going to wait. I don't mind these going down now because they're active. This one is concatenated into two. This one has yet to be given its companion, which is this skill here, and this gives me a Herald Strike for free, or 3. There we go. Maybe I've used them all up now. Right, Cry of the Chorus is off cooldown. So what I'm going to do is I want to get these up now. And finally refresh. So we've got these two concatenated, this personal cries and calls one, it's important to my minstrel, and these combined ones that are giving buffs to the raid. What we've got now is an option of another one with a reset, and that gives me, or gives the melee group, well, everyone, extra healing and extra 10% damage for a minute and 15. So now we're set, we can do what we like, we can do our damage, we can play our role in the raid, what we've been invited along for. I'm not going to push it, I'm going to wait for Cry of the Chorus to cool down, that's my next thing. It's coming off cooldown in 12 seconds, these are still fine, they're not in danger, it's not like I've got to hit 4 with a gap of 20 seconds. I can do boom, boom, boom. Just hope that I'm not having to do some heals. Now I'm going to try and attempt to get a reset. Got it. And we can forget and go off and do damage. That's the process. This is the tree. It is the tree. This is where it gets confusing because I got Warrior's Skull buffs and I have oh, I better go into that stance because that's reducing the cooldown of this, and I want to get a little heal. Now I can't get a Cry of the Chorus cooldown from a coda, but I can. Oh, no rush here. That's not one thing. I don't really want to track that either. I just want the anthems. Yeah, I haven't cleaned up what this is providing me. I'm trying to cut it down to just anthems. Right, I want to refresh that. Now this is going to have to wait. I might be a bit busier because I don't have that instant reset. I might be tempted to spend too much time on ballads. But this is my personal anthem. This is my resonance and compassion. This is my composure and prowess. And this is my free peoples. We've got off cooldown. Let's refresh. What do we want? Do we want to have compassion? Sadly, my personal one doesn't get refreshed. So like dissonance, we don't get this refreshed. So my outgoing healing and my 10% healing inductions goes away if I refresh it with compassion, just for a brief attention to threat and tactical mitigation, which I would suggest is not as important. So it's harder to get this resetting. So on red line you can get them pretty much within a few seconds of each other. It's harder blue line, unless you were to go into here and rely on a 30% chance to reset Cry of the Chorus. It's a bit silly to do that when Cry of the Chorus was already up. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Not got it. So, Anthem 1, it's this one. Do we want to lose? Do we ever want to lose that as our healing minstrel? I think not. I think I've lost. Is this my this hero strike? Perhaps the icons wouldn't change so much. Got them both. Got that one. And I need to reset this now. So that's our two specs. Slightly different, but they're not. The important thing is to not lose our full personal buff of outgoing healing and healing skills magnitude. Where is it? Discord and balance. Balance will reduce the active cooldown of cries and calls by 1 second. I don't think it does. We could try that out. Doesn't feel like it does. It may cool down these, but I'm not certain it's giving us this cry. The other thing is being au fait with stance dancing. It's like having the wrong allies equipped at the start of the fight. You think, oh my god, we're going to wipe. If you're not following your stance, you're running into trouble as well. Do I want to bother with to see where the right, this would be ideal for a yellow minstrel because we've got tactical and ranged bear, climb the chorus, and we got an extra 10% damage. So that would be the ideal start in red. If I want to do this, oh well. I've only got one of these up, but that's my next option for when do I want to get that one up or do I want to get my other ones up? They're all a bit out of sync, sadly. really stick to a buff the 4 and only then worry about so once you get these out of sync, it doesn't help your case. It's better if you can do them all in one lump. Forget about stretching yourself too thinly with that extra one. So let's forget our whereas, and we got all the ones we need up. And we go about our day doing damage. I think that's the general thing. If I can get a coda reset on Cry of the Chorus, to an extent, because it's resetting all, I shall do it slightly different next time. This is what your raiders will be guessing, will be doing. So I want to potentially buff and reset. So this is what I'll do. I shall buff. And all my big calls have come back too. I want to buff, I want to buff, I want to buff, I want to buff. Will I be in time? Yes, I will. What are you worried about? Yeah, it's a piece of piss, this system. Just completely intuitive. Nothing to worry about. Right, these are the calls. Buffage. Try and get a reset. No. Didn't need it because or had these come back anyway. Hit them hard. Perhaps it's better to try and get the... That's a bit of a waste. Let's use some calls up. I don't know whether this is just laggy behaviour or just the target dummy. Do I need to buff? What do I need to buff? Wait for cry. Saving on the coda. Because I'm not really paying attention to a raiding environment, moving around out of puddles. Well, coming down to 35 seconds, time to go through that sequence again. That was alright, wasn't it? It was alright. Don't want to see what damage I did because I probably sucked. So I'll call it quits there. Sweat as much as you want about anthems, or don't. Or maybe, well, as you're leveling, you'll barely have one anthem up and running at any one time because you just won't have the points in yellow to do anything, sadly. So you won't learn any of the intricacies that open up with the traits and the traceries. And if when you first come across it, you don't actually do anything, you end up not even buffing a war anthem like many people do after 14 years of play. They're never even bothered because it's too difficult, too hard, and they pretend to know what they're doing. Or no, they they say things as if they do know what they're doing, and then they say, when challenged, they say, "Oh, I'm not professing to know anything," but they keep on spouting their crap. Anyway, I think that does it for me.